Hello everybody, Brad Johnson here, and welcome to another episode of Adronis Top 3 Weekly. So we're going to go ahead and get started with the first question. Question number 1. When I am anticipating physical pain and I don't want to experience it, is there a way I can turn it off or increase tolerance to this pain aside of taking anesthetic substances? As it relates to the idea of your own pain threshold, and how you are in that sense attempting to, shall we say, transcend the aspect of that pain. Well, a lot of it in that sense comes from the heavy intolerance of pain because you're focusing your mind too much upon the sensation of the pain itself. And so as soon as pain comes up, your attention is brought directly to it. So for example, let's say that you may have a sore wrist. And by you constantly complaining or feeling that you have this very, very strong sore wrist, you're actually in that sense amplifying the pain just by admitting that the pain itself is severe. So what we would suggest is a simple little hypnotic exercise. Is that if you feel that you're in pain, just take a moment to feel the entirety of your body. And just be aware of the discomfort that you have. Now we would ask you in that sense to take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And now as you bring your awareness to that pain, the next time that you inhale and exhale, it will become twice better. So take an inhale, take an exhale. And now you will start to feel that that pain becomes less. It is now twice better. So we're going to do this again. Take another deep breath in and another deep breath out, and now it becomes 3 times better. So what you are doing here is just a simple self-hypnosis exercise where every single breath that you take in and out, you are lessening the pain more and more. And you continue to do this. You make it 2 times better, 3 times better, 4 times better, 5 times better, etc. Until you feel that that pain itself has completely subsided. And all it really takes is just centering yourself, taking a deep breath in, taking a deep breath out, and convincing yourself that that pain becomes lighter and lighter and lighter each and every single time that you do it. That's all it takes. Because now you're telling yourself that you're not focusing upon the pain. You're centering yourself so that the pain becomes less and less and less. And once you have reached it into a point that you feel is satisfactory, continue to nurture and nourish your body back to health. So the whole idea in that sense about why pain becomes so extreme is because of the idea of you focusing upon it and neglecting your body to take care of it appropriately. So the whole idea here in that sense is that this can happen with your own organs as it relates to, shall we say, them being achy or in pain, your own back being stiff, etc. So it's all really just the same thing. All you're doing is just being aware of where the pain is, centering yourself, and starting off with that deep breath in and that deep breath out. And as you finish the breath, you are making it twice better, 3 times better, 4 times better, 5 times better. You can even use it in the forms of percentages. When you finish this breath, it will be 25% better. And now you feel it. Now the next time, it'll be 50% better. And then 75% better. And then 100% better. This all goes back into the practice that we have termed as the percentage of certainty exercise. Is that you are utilizing the state of a percentage of certainty to knowing that that pain becomes less and less, or that stiffness becomes less and less. It's all just part of a self-hypnotic program that you are creating for yourself. Therefore, when the pain becomes less and less, you are again taking care of your body appropriately so that it will therefore function in that way. Give everything that your body requires to allow an accelerated healing effect to take place. Continue to work with the breath. Work with color visualization. Put that through your body. That too will also assist in the healing process. But again, as you're making it less and less, now you have a higher tolerance to work, to nourish, and to nurture your body appropriately. All right? We thank you very much. Number 2, if we go to the 5th dimension, do we take our body we have now, or do we leave it here when we go? We thank you very much for your question. As it relates to those that graduate from the 3rd density to the 4th density, your body goes with you. If your body didn't go with you, you wouldn't bother going through all this transmutation process that you're going through right now. You'd simply just pop into another body. But in that sense, there is a case to that degree. While you're taking your body with you, it is part of the new avatar that will therefore position you into the 4th density. And so your body will be fully calibrated as it reaches a culmination to the transdimensional effect from 3rd density to 4th density. So you will still have a body similar to what you have right now, but again, it is calibrating itself into a lighter frequency, into a lighter density. As we've talked about in the past, this all relates to the analogy of a snake shedding its skin. When the snake sheds its skin, it may not have that old skin anymore, but it still has its body. It still has its frame altogether. And that's very, very similar to what is happening with yourselves. You are shedding away this old skin, and at the culmination point where you're able to completely leave that skin behind, you transcend yourself into 4th density. Therefore, you are occupying yourself in a 4th density avatar body. So the 4th density body in that sense is part of a new design. It is part of a new coherency. It is a new experience, but it is the new skin, as it were. And you're no longer operating within the 3rd density skin. So you could say that the 3rd density skin energetically is left behind in that particular dimension, although it is not visible within your physical spectrum. And so when you're moving into 4th density, this relates to the idea of the new skin coming online, and you are occupying that new 4th density body that is a part of the transmutation effect that's happening to you here and now. We thank you. Question number 3. Can Adronis explain the nature of densities that came before the 1st density and the nature of densities that came after the 7th density? We thank you very much for your question. Well, there was no other density prior to the 1st density. It is what you would know as the first step of the rung of the ladder. You would have to understand that the earliest octave to the aspect of your own 1st density relates to your subatomic kingdom, to which you are aware of. So the aspect of subatomic particles, or in that sense, even greater particles to that degree. So it is something in that sense to which you would refer to as a subnull existence, to which particles that go beyond even your own, shall we say, God particle, or Higgs boson in that way, come to the point where they are existing in between dimensions, but they are like fabricators. So they are here and not here at the same time. And so really there is nothing that can really technically, or shall we say articulately, be expressed relating to that particular kingdom. And so we use it in the form of convenience to look at the idea of the subatomic kingdom. But that really would represent, shall we say, part of the earlier octaves as it relates to 1st density. So therefore you move through the degree, yes, of that which you would know as the subatomic particle kingdom, and therefore you move into the, shall we say, atomic kingdom, and then moving more so into the molecular kingdom, and then it continues to move up through that particular way. But again, this is all part of certain levels of engineering. So the closest that we can really articulate to you that is understandable and comprehensible would be looking at the earliest octave of the 1st density, representing that of the subatomic kingdom. When you're looking past 7th density, yes, there is an 8th density, but the 8th density represents, shall we say, the ending of a particular cycle of being. And when you therefore move back into the, shall we say, 8th density, it's like the alpha and omega connecting together. And so therefore you move into a completely different experience, as it were. You become much more of a higher level of monadic intelligence. So basically you could say that when you slip into the 8th density, it's taking you into a brand new cycle. And of course you have what's known as the 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, and even a 13th density as well too. And again, the 9th density would represent more of what you would know as a planetary kingdom. The 10th density would represent more of a star kingdom. The 11th density would represent more of a galactic kingdom. The 12th density would represent more of a universal kingdom, therefore moving into the aspect of a 13th density, connecting you back to the greater portion of godhood. So that would give you somewhat of an idea. But the 8th density could basically look into the idea of what you would know as the highest soul realm, returning to the aspect of the highest soul realm and actually graduating past the idea of soul and coming more into, shall we say, higher monadic intelligence that represents these collectives pertaining to the 9th, to the 12th, and then, of course, moving into the 13th, which represents that aspect of godhood. All right? We thank you very much for the opportunity of this interaction. I am Adronis of Sirius. We will now conclude and return to the conduit. Goodbye for now.